Hi everybody, this is Rohit from pixeldapps.com, and today I will talk about why iOS is more secure than Android in app development. So, Android versus iOS. Android versus iOS seems like a never-ending battle in between Iron Man and Captain America. Nobody is right or wrong, but these two operating systems in the mobile realm aren't ready to give up. Well, there is nothing new in it. I mean, the world has been competitive since the very beginning and irrespective of the industry. Do you remember Coca-Cola versus Pepsi fight, McDonald's versus KFC, and Canon versus Nikon? And now, for over a few years, it seems to be Android versus iOS. So, I have a question for you. Do you use Android or iOS device? Let me know in the comments down below. Competition isn't just limited to business or mobile app developers, but you will also find a cold war among fan groups. By leaps and bounds, it seems that the two tech giants are set to make an evolution like never before. Let's keep this aside for a while and analyze things from where it all began. History never lies. iOS was initially developed for Apple's own mobile devices back in 2007. Yeah, more than a decade ago. iPhone and iPads are what Apple was all about, and that was the beginning of the major revolution in the mobile industry. Being a challenger to the Smash Authority, iPhone featured a rich bunch of applications, easy to understand operations, and amazing appearances. However, users always kept on complaining about the lack of innovation. Now enters our second hero, Android. Many have this misconception that Android was developed by Google. Well, it was not developed, but later acquired by the company from Andy Rubin. Based on Linux, the initial version of Android was too simple, and a few details modeled on iOS, such as the function of sliding to unlock. I consider Android as the story from rags to riches. With the increasing evolution of smartphones in the market today, millions of mobile users are being benefited. With each passing day, the gap seems to be narrowed dramatically, but there are certain factors compelling people to choose Android over iOS. 1. Ample choices. There is no denying the fact that you have ample of things to choose from in Android hardware, as Apple only provides 3 choices with minimal discount. Whereas in Android we have a wide range of sizes, shapes, features, sets, price points, etc. For example, OnePlus, Samsung, Realme, Pixel flagship, and the list goes on. 2. USB-C. Unlike Apple's lightning cables, which often tend to break and come with a hefty price, Android turns out to be far more versatile with USB-C standards. These cables aren't just used for smartphones, but everyday devices including laptops, tablets, etc. 3. Cutting-edge features. Android always seems to come out with all the latest and greatest features in the market. Well, I can simply go on and on with my list how Android works at its best than iOS, but there is one thing which Android cannot beat or beat out or be up to the mark. It's security. No matter how fascinating features you provide, security is the prime importance these days, where cybercrime is happening day in and day out. Here, choosing the right operating system makes the difference, whether it's iOS or Android. It may quite interest you to know that even though Android has the largest market share, around 75%, in comparison to iOS, which is 25%, Android is one of the most targeted smartphones for hackers and criminals. This also leads us to the fact that Android has the most viruses, hacks, and malware attacking it. Well, I'm definitely not saying that iPhone is any less prone to malware attacks, but it's less than even 1%. iOS updates. In the present scenario, speedy updates have grown in terms of importance, all thanks to security breaches becoming more serious. The tight oversight that Apple has on apps and the ability to push updates out to the more devices more quickly gives it an edge over Android. The company also encrypts data in iMessage and its other apps. Apple not just prioritizes user privacy but keeps all the information stored in your phone encrypted too. On the other hand, Google, it mines your data for information that it can use to sell better ads and market products right to you. Further below, I would like to get you acquainted with certain reasons stating why experts trust iOS platforms for app development more than Android. Number 1. Android is open source. With Android, the threat becomes more evident in case a user tries to modify his phone and ends up not getting any satisfactory results. This surely means security is a huge matter of concern here. Whereas for iOS, Apple itself is very strict in imposing the terms and conditions, especially in regards to downloading and controlling over software. In simple words, you cannot launch every app on Apple App Store like Google Play Store. Even though open source is not at the heart of Apple platform, the tech giant itself releases significant quantities of open source software code like Swift, WebKit, ResearchKit, CareKit, Bonjour, Unix. Enterprise apps. In a couple of years, enterprise apps have seemed to conquer the world. In several enterprises and business communities, employees are found working efficiently even outside the premises of the office through different techniques. Although Android isn't lacking behind in giving a tough fight, mobile app developers here have equal opportunity to build a secure area that is free from user profile data and allows them to install enterprise apps. It may quite interest you to know that Apple is not an easy fruit to pluck on. It secures unique technology and not allows intruders to view any kind of data no third party can open. App testing. Mobile app testing is equivalent to mobile app development and it must be done appropriately before the release of an app. Unlike Android app development, Apple does not leave a single margin for error from its user side and remains adhered to its parameters. The hard test is inevitable. All apps have to go through it before being allowed to be downloaded from the App Store. On and all, iOS is a hard nut to crack. So this is all for today's episode. In case you're looking for professional app developers for iOS or Android, search for Pixel Labs. Thank you.